All right, today we're going to draw a shed, and hopefully our closed captions work on this one. So we'll call this one shed number two. Basically, all we care about is getting a chance to use Revit. This one's 2025, so hopefully it works out a little better than yesterday's. But basically, all Revits are pretty much similar. You can set up a very basic setup, and then you can customize it to anything you want. It's very precise, very accurate, and very industry ready. So today's is sort of an overview, and feel free to try it multiple times. Even try messing around with stuff to see if you can change it to other settings. Even mistakes are chances to learn. So let's get rocking here. We're going to go to new model. And for you, hopefully it says construction, architectural, but it shouldn't make a big difference with Imperial. I'll have to go back and change the setup on my overall computer, but hopefully it works well enough for us today. So once we load in and we've got architectural chosen, we need to do some setting up. We need to set our units and our heights. So the first thing we're going to go do is go to manage. And when we click manage, we're going to go over to project units. When we select project units, this box shows up. And it's very important that we change the distance from centimeters to feet, and then the length to feet and fractional inches. So that gets us our drawing units ready to go. The second thing we need to do is establish our level heights. We're just going to set up one level for the shed right now. So we double click on elevations, and I just select east. It doesn't matter which view you have. And basically you get two line heights that indicate the elevation of the level. Right now mine's set at 12 feet. Yours on our system seems to default to 13 feet, 1.5 inches. Regardless, we click it twice and we're able to type in 8 and enter, and it now moves it to 8 feet. If we want to add other levels, we can at any time, but we're just going to keep our shed to one level for today. So we're going to go back to our level 0, and within these cameras, or your cameras are slightly more obvious, we're going to be drawing our wall. So in order to make the wall, we're going to go to architecture. We go to architecture and we select wall. We can get a variety of walls to choose from here. So there's a whole bunch of different ones we can go. We want to go exterior, and we want to make sure that our exterior wall, hold on here, is thick. It doesn't even matter if you make an interior wall because you change enough of it that it can become an exterior wall. But for me right now, I'm going to go with, where is my brick here? Brick on wood stud. It's a standard one. It's probably one you can find. So before we start drawing with it, we go to edit type because we're going to make a duplicate. Click duplicate, and we're going to call it W1 or wall 1. And we're going to edit this wall so it's more what we want. So instead of a brick finish, if I click on the material column and select brick on the finish level, I get a dot, dot, dot box. And when I click it, I can get a wide variety of sidings made available to me. The one I'm going to choose today is just pine. So I'm going to type in pine and enter, and it gives me a choice of pines that are available. So I'm just going to go with just pine. And I'm going to change it to a thickness of 1 inch because it's just sheeting on this outside of the house. We then have other membranes and air things, which we can or can remove. I'm going to keep mine for now. Then there's a plywood protector on the wall, which is 1/2 inch thick, which is good. Our structure is softwood at 5.5 inches, which is exactly what we want. Ours probably isn't softwood, so you'd have to click and change it. We then have our gypsum board on the inside, which is 1/2 inch. So all these may have to be loaded depending on which wall you chose, but that's a nice size wall right there. So I'm going to click OK. OK. And then I'm going to go within these areas here, and I want to draw this wall. The problem is if I draw right now, according to our properties at the side, and if you don't have these two available to you, the properties and the project browser. If you go to view, oops, if you go to view, sorry about that, I double clicked in impatience there, and go to user interface, you can set the project browser and the properties on and they'll appear. So anyway, with our wall height right now, mine's 20 feet. I believe yours is over 26 feet at the standard. You click top constraint because we already set a level for it, and we're going to go up to level, in your case, level 1, mine is level 2. So now I'm ready to draw this wall. I can click any start point I want and drag to the side. And we're going to make this shed a little bit bigger. We're going to type it 12 feet. And then we're going to go straight down this way here. And instead of 12, we're going to go 18. And then back 12. And then we can just close this up by going up, and it should lock onto the corner for us. And there's our footprint of our shed. If we go to view, which I'm still in, and I go to 3D view, and I go to default, we can zoom in. That's our basic shed. Now, you can change the settings down here. I'm going to go to realistic for mine. It takes a minute or two for the computer to think its way through. Let's see how she does here. There we go. Pine siding. Looky, looky. So we need a floor, we need a roof, and we need some windows and doors. So we're going to go back to our original layer. First thing we're going to make is a concrete pad for it. So if I go to architecture and I select the floor pull down, which, why can't I see it right now? Oh my gosh, it's right here in front of me. Floor architectural. I'm going to go to floor and we'll choose the same one this time. And there should be a wood finish. I'm going to go with this wood finish with wood joist. I think you have one similar. Oh, what happened to mine? I'm going to reselect it because for something happened weird there. So I'm going to go to floor again, architectural floor. Going to scroll down to wood joist, wood finish. Yours will probably say timber floor. We're going to go over here and go edit type because we want to change our floor type. Oops, cancel. And I'm going to duplicate it right away. Call it floor 1. You could be as creative or you could call it something else. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to highlight the finish row and delete it because we don't want a wood floor in our little shed here. I'm going to go to the plywood here. I'm going to delete it. And the last structure, what I'm going to go to is concrete. I'm going to make it concrete. So I'm going to select a nice concrete for us. And I'm going to change it to 6 inches thick. Now I'm ready to draw it into place. So I just go over to these objects here and I can either select lines or draw lines, but I'm going to go with the rectangle tool because it's quick and easy. Join both corners, hit the check mark, hit enter. And if we go to 3D, we can see that we've got ourselves a concrete floor in place. How nice is that? Let's do the roof. Go back to our original layer. I'm going to get out of making a floor now because I believe I already made it, and I better double check. There it is right there. Good. Whew. So now we're going to go architecture and we're going to go to roof. Now, when we make the roof, I'm going to go roof by footprint. It should be on the level above the one we're drawing on, so make sure it says level 1 for you. I'm going to go to pick points right here. It's a line, pick line. So it's green line with an arrow. I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to change my overhang or offset to 1 foot. And then when I click on these lines and select them, I can see my overhangs already measured out and put in the correct location. So when I check mark that, that gives me a roof And basically, if we look at it in 3D now, we've got a hip roof. So it slopes up on four sides. That's because we left a slope on all sides. If for some reason you want to change that, then we can just click on it and select edit footprint. And if we click on the lines at either end and click off define slope, then it removes the slope from these walls. And when we check it, we end up getting a gable roof. A lot of people prefer the gable roof, especially for a shed, so I think I'll leave it there. And all we need to do is bring the walls up to touch now. So if I select a wall, then I just go over here to attach to top, and we just select and it goes right up to the top. We have to do that on all four walls actually. And it's probably easier to get the side ones before you get the end one in place, or else you won't be able to see it. And last but not least, the front wall. Okay, the structure's awesome, except you can't get in or out or can't see anything. So, windows, doors. You can put them in on this view, or you can go to your elevation view, which gives you the direct side view of it. But I'm going to place them using the plan view, the top view. So first thing we're going to do is load a door. So if I go to door, I can select a variety of doors. For our shed here, I want to get a double door going. I'm going to make it fairly large, and I'm going to put it in the side here so that in case you're bringing a lawnmower or anything of that nature in. I'm then going to go back to door, and I'm going to pick a single door. I'm just going to put it in the end here. I prefer it to swing out because if it swings out, it doesn't take as much space as on the inside. So it's sort of a nice setup that way. And then I'm going to go, just going to get rid of doing the doors for a minute. And we're going to do a window. So I'm going to go to window. I'm going to select window, and I'm going to go with a bit bigger of a window. So something like that. Some people don't like the mullions, which are the bars in the middle. You can select them without. I'm just going to go with them for now. I'm going to just set them along on our shed. I'm going to leave the back wall without any windows or doors right now because what I find is that then gives you a whole area to store stuff on. So let's look at it in 3D. There is our shed. It's a very simple, very easy, very calm, very user-friendly way of setting up a shed. And there's so many other aspects that we'll get to dig into a little later. I hope you enjoyed drawing the shed. Save it as shed number 2, unless it's, of course, your shed number 1, then save it as that. And I hope that you can draw and redraw a couple more times. Right on.